sure I got half her fur in the lativa. Not one cat here in the lativa, that's amazing. Mini knitting. Woo! Totally meant for that to happen. Hi guys! Welcome to Nordic Stitches podcast episode number 5. Wow, more than 1 month into this already. Did not see that one coming. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back and thank you for staying with me. And if you are a new viewer, don't be afraid to click that subscribe button if you like what you see, and welcome. My name is Lily and I'm a knitting designer based in Norway, Scandinavia, which is where I'm bringing you this podcast from. This is my home, and what you see behind me is my new filming area. This is the place where I go to grab everything I need, and it's kind of messy. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, so this is it. The reason I have, if you are a returning viewer, you will know now that this is not the usual place for me to film, but the lighting in here is better. And especially now that we're heading into darker times, darker days, darker times. Anyway, the lighting will get worse, and yeah, so I figured I'd move it in here for as long as I live here. I do hope to be able to move from here before Christmas. Enough about that. I want to start off this podcast by sending a thank you to Shauna Stitches, who also has a podcast here on YouTube. You should go check her out if you haven't. She was kind enough to mention me in her previous episode, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I contacted her to ask if she was interested in doing a swap, and she was. So I have shipped mine, which she has received and will be showing off in her podcast. So if you want to see what I shipped to her, you will have to go and check out her channel. Mine hasn't revived. Mine hasn't arrived yet, so you'll just have to be patient with me. It's a bit difficult, but yeah, we'll manage. Yeah, let's get down to business. This week I have 3 finished projects, 2 shawls and a pair of socks. Let's start with the small one. Pair of socks, and these are so small that I'm not going to put them on any plastic feet this time. I don't have sock blockers. I really should do something about that. But these are ankle socks that I made out of Minna Phillips cobblestone pattern. It has this texture. And it's knit with 2.5 millimeters. Always around, the kitty cat. It's knit on 2.5 millimeters with Viking Minidagen, which is superwash wool nylon blend, 75% and 25%. So those were the socks. If you've been here for a while, or if you watched a few episodes by now, you know that this isn't the first time I show you. Those were the socks. Not only that, people, I made my first. I'm so exceptionally proud of this. I know I shouldn't be, but I don't have a lot of experience working with self-striping yarn. But when this happened, yes I did, they match! Finished project number 2. I haven't blocked it yet. I will once I figure out how to, because it's massive, but it's so soft. I knit this in cotton yarn. It's a shawl by my favorite Norwegian designer, Britta Mikkelborg. It's called Shine Bright Diamond. And this is my first shawl ever. I can't imagine, don't ask me why I never knit shawls before, but I didn't. It's been all about the socks and hats and sweaters. But this was so fun. Isn't it pretty? And this is my arm span, and that is how much is on the outside. So we've got little diamonds, big diamonds. I finished up this shawl a little different than it said in the pattern. But it turned out great. And it's exceptionally soft, so I love this. I'm thinking to one of my mom's best friends just got diagnosed with cancer. So I want to knit another shawl with this yarn to send to her because, you know, I've heard, I can't say from first-hand experience, thank God, but I've heard that a lot of people who's experiencing going through cancer and therapy for that get sensitive skin. So I want to knit her a shawl in this yarn and send that to her so she can wrap herself up and still be comfortable. This yarn is Swedish Svarta Fåret Tilda. It is a cotton acrylic blend, 50% of each. And for that shawl I used 3.5 millimeters, which is what the skein recommends with the which is what the yarn recommends, but I intentionally knitted looser for that shawl for several reasons. One, knitting bigger things gets heavier on the hands, and I need to invest in knitting needles with sharper tips, because the ones that I have aren't really, I have no idea how I the last 4 years have been able to knit lace with the needles I have, but I have. Turns out great every time, but it takes a little longer. So by knitting a little looser than I usually do, the lace parts gets easier, but I really need to think about investing in needles. Yeah. So I'm going to ask again. I have asked this question before on the podcast, so, but we are several more subscribers now. Thank you so much. So if you know, I already have one page, one website from Sweden, which was sent to me via a I already have gotten a few PMs on my Instagram from, I don't know if you want me to say this or not, but I'm just going to shoot it out there, from Mama Anka, who's been with me for a long time. She's a viewer, so thank you for the tip. What I asked was, I want cubic needles, but I don't want wooden cubic needles. I want metal. Very light, exceptionally light cubic metal needles without nickel. So it is possible. They have a variation of that in Sweden, but they don't come in a set, and that would be definitely more preferable. So, but if there's no other alternatives out there, I'll go to Sweden and I'll buy my needles right there, no problem. I just like to know if there are several more really, this is an illusion, I left it on the pillow. If there are several more alternatives. Wow, that was a mouthful. Jumping right into number 3 of my finished projects this week. I cast this on just a few days before I actually sat down to watch the Bakery Bears podcast, which I love. Oh my god, that podcast is amazing. Those two people, most of you probably already know who I'm talking about, but if you don't, go to my show notes, link in the box below the video, and check them out. You do not want to miss out on that couple. Amazing. Anyway, I sat down and knit the Ollivander shawl a couple of days before, and then I started watching the last 7 episodes or something. I'm definitely going to watch them all sometime. And then it turns out that one of the hosts for the Bakery Bears podcast was the designer of the shawl, which was a happy coincidence. Then I also found out that it was a cow. So it's still a little damp, but I did it. I entered this before and this is so massive. I entered this in the cow before it finished, but this is so massive. I have no chance whatsoever to show you this entire thing on the camera, so I'm going to insert a picture. The yarn I used for this is DK weight. So it's very thick, very squishy. Squishy. You have to love the squishiness of yarn, especially in garter stitch. I don't know why some people don't like the garter stitch. I personally love it because it is so squishy. Anyway, back to trying to be normal at least. The yarn I used for this was, and where did I put those labels? I wonder. Maybe I should drink some tea and think about that. The yarn I used for the shawl was the variegated part right here with the pink and the gray and the cream color. Just my kind of variegated yarn, exactly like that, with short color changes. I prefer long color changes, but if it needs to be poppy, then that is what I need. Few colors, not too bright. It is hand-dyed Australian wool from Bob Wilson 123. If you are a crocheter, you will probably know who I'm talking about. If not, you should definitely go check her out. She has a YouTube channel here on YouTube, and she does very well. She's very talented, and when I discovered that she started to dye yarn, I was all over it. She sells her yarn on Facebook, and the variegated yarn is called Crazy Gala. I think that was the right pronunciation. The white yarn in between is just some very affordable yarn that I had laying around. It is Viking, a commercial yarn that is available almost everywhere here. That was superwash, so I don't remember if the Crazy Gala yarn from Bob Wilson was superwash, so I kind of hand washed that one. So I was very excited to see if that dried up before the cow. So this tea is so good. I have no idea what tea I'm drinking. Just a sec. And by the magic of technology, ta-da! This is Twinings of London Infusions Peach and Passion Fruit. So that's what I'm drinking. I started out now not liking it. There's so many things I start out not liking and start to like. Like this Ollivander shawl, for example. I don't think there's been more than a couple of episodes I said that I wanted to try to knit the I should not forget the name of this pattern. This is almost embarrassing. Almost. Not entirely. Just give me a second. The Hitchhiker shawl. See? The answer was in the tea. Yeah, I said that I didn't like the look of that type of shawl, and I thought that it would be interesting just, you know, try to knit it. I love that type of shawl. I just gotta stop saying I don't like, because 2 weeks later, I love it. It's so amazing. Anyway, that's about it for those finished projects, and now let's move over to what I'm working on. So the sock came out like this, and I don't have sock blockers, so I'm just going to pull the sock onto my hand. Very nice texture. And as I said, I think it was in the previous episode, I don't remember, but it reminds me a little bit of the Mocking Rib, which I love. The heel is a slip stitch heel. I prefer that heel. I just knit a slip stitch heel flap, and I start decreasing on the sides for the heel. Always a very nice fit. That is the first sock. I am currently working on number 2. The yarn just went into the floor. Adding a little cat hair to that skein of yarn, why not? So the skein looks like this. It is saga print yarn. It's bought in Europris in Norway. This is also commercial yarn, but for what it's worth, I think it's actually going to be a better one. I've tried a lot of commercial yarns, and I have to say I really do like the way that not only these stripings are coming out, because these don't match. Not very, anyway. Yeah, they are a little fluffy, they're a little rough, but for me and very many other Norwegians, that is not a problem because we wear our socks, well, most of us, many of us, wear our socks outside our normal socks to stay warm, because that's needed here. But yeah, so I don't mind that they're rough. That's my point. I don't know how long they're going to last, but I wear socks like this every day. So I'm starting to get a few pairs now, so I'm hoping they'll last for a while. The heel is knit in scrap yarn. Drops Fable Superwash, color 904. This doesn't have a color, by the way. This is just color number 104. And I'm knitting these on 2mm needles. So Drops Fable Superwash, 75% wool, 25% polyamide. And the actual sock yarn is the exact same. So this is the Drops Fable. This is what I got left. So I had 2 teenies. I'm calling these teenies because they are teeny. So one of these have 7 grams and it will last for 2 heels. That's a good deal. Never throw away your minis. Always keep your minis. Okay, that was the Hermione's Everyday Sock. If you hear squeaking, it's the chair I'm sitting on that's scrapping up against the... That's better. Didn't sound very good. This is what I'm left of. This is what I have left from the first sock, which is quite a lot. Didn't expect that. So I'll be making a mini or a teeny, I don't know. I don't know. But I will do it. I can do it. And of course, my little owl progress keeper. Very pretty against the yarn. I don't know what's up with me today. Last week I was all, not feeling very good. This week I'm feeling way too good. So that was project number 1 ongoing. And then, first, before I show you this, Shauna, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry. I meant to do your heel. I mentioned her in the start of the podcast, and I said, Shauna has done a swap with me, blah, blah, blah. She's also made a heel pattern, a new heel pattern. She's taken the partridge heel, Eye of the Partridge heel, and made it into this... Well, you should just go and check out her channel and stuff like that for more information, but it's a very pretty slip stitch heel. And I meant to do that for this pair of socks, and then I started to see... I sat down and started to watch... what did I start to watch? X-Files. Sorry, I'm a sucker for X-Files. And I came to the heel, and I was done with the heel, and I realized, oh shoot. So Shauna, I'm sorry. This pair of socks does not have your heel. I know I said I would, but I am not out of yarn yet, so I will be knitting your heel. I love the look of that heel. I'm just going to avoid watching anything on TV while I actually knit it. So this pair of socks will be just a plain vanilla pair of socks in 2mm. Nope, I'm lying now. 2.5mm. Also in the Saga print yarn from Europris. And this yarn was a very nice surprise, because when I look at the skein like this and like this, and I get a sock that looks like this, it makes me very happy. So I'm going to save these for March next year. This is going to be a pair of socks that I wear one day a year. My birthday is the 17th of March, which is the Irish national holiday. And everything is about green gnomes and green, green, green. And green is one of my favorite colors. We're talking a little bit more this scale, of course, but I don't see anything wrong with saving these for my birthday. And last night it was down, I was awake around 4 this morning, and it was 5 degrees outside, Celsius. That is cold. So it's very fitting that I have my DIY. Let's see if I can make it focus. Gloves. I don't know if that was focusing or not. I just used my iPhone to film, so yeah, it's very fitting that I have that progress keeper. This was knit in just a few hours. I don't think I've ever knit. I should have started podcasting years ago. I don't think I've ever knit a plain pair of vanilla socks. It's always been about knitting thick woolen socks that can keep you warm at winter. So we use the rib all the way, you know, down here. The only part where it's actually stockinette stitch is under the foot. So yeah. And I've also done the slip stitch heel on this sock. Just checking to see if there actually is coming any banana smell out of my, it's not, it's just for decoration. Anyway, slip stitch heel in, where is that label? Drops Fable, 75% wool, blah, 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 same as the last one. In color 162. Back to the socks. So this is sock number 1 out of 2, unfortunately with the wrong heel. But as I said, I'm not out of yarn, so I will definitely be knitting the Kiss the Partridge heel. I think that's the name. If it's not, I'm just going to put it on the screen. I'm going to link you to her podcast, to her pattern, and you can just go check it out. It's definitely worth it. So yeah, these are my plain vanilla socks, knit up quite a few months before my birthday, but that's okay. It's something to look forward to, so I can look forward to getting to use my Irish looking socks. So I'm just going to check my notes. Yep. Those are the only works in progress I have going at the moment. I have been neglecting my own designs for a very long time now, and I am going to start making the weekends into my own designs days. So Fridays throughout Sundays I'll be knitting on my own designs, just so I can squeeze it in there, because I watch all these podcasts now and there are so many pretty patterns out there. Oh my god, I just want to knit it all. I need to center myself and I need to stop doing that, because yeah, that's just the way it is with me. This week I got some yarn, so I'm going to show you that. This is very good tea. The first yarn I bought from Viking Yarns on Etsy. not the commercial Viking yarns here in Norway. And this is called Blue Fairy. Come on. So pretty. 100-gram hank is 400 meters. It's a 4-ply fingering sock weight and is 100% superwash merino. I'll be using this just a second. I'm going to show you. I'm just going to talk a little first. I'm going to use this to knit something to remember my grandma who passed from colon cancer before I was born. That color is blue. Actually, it's dark blue, but I loved this one so much. If you follow me on Instagram, which you should, by the way, you would have seen this already. And it's, even though it's variegated, it's not so variegated that it's confusing to my eyes. So I can't wait to skein this up and start knitting with it. But I am going to enter this in a cowl. Stitching for a Cause cowl, hosted by the wonderful Shauna over at Adelaide Cottage. You need to check her out. She's a wonderful person. And that cowl runs throughout December, to December. I don't really know. I'm going to link you to it so you can see it. It's a very wonderful cowl. It's the most meaningful cowl I've come along so far. So I'm going to use that for a project in her cowl. I'm not going to start yet because I'm thinking that if I find something in the retro flip through that I want to make, I can use this in that. So, and I want to make this for me because it's very meaningful to me. So I want to make sure that it's, you know, I really want to knit that thing. And I have a few months to decide. Okay. I think it's actually rubbing off a little color, so I might wash it before I use it, because if I'm going to use it, I think I'm going to use it with some whites or beiges. So I may put it in some vinegar, salty water, and have the dye set even more, or just rinse it out, I don't know. But it's very pretty regardless if it bleeds or not. Okay, so the next is, I was in this group. I went out of it yesterday. On Facebook, there's a group called Secret Crocheters in Action. This is basically a swap group. There's an admin in there. She's a wonderful person. Hello, Holly. And they all said that I would be missed, and you know, that's very nice and all. But I do more knitting than I do crocheting, and this is a Crocheters in Action kind of group. So I figured, since I knit more and stuff like that, I should just, you know, leave that group. Besides, I want to invest my time here in the podcast and the people who watch the podcast. So yesterday I received my last package, because when you go in there you get a name. There's several rounds throughout the year where they collect everybody who wants to be in the round, and they give everybody a name. And people aren't supposed to get each other, so it's all a very big circle of yarn swapping friends, and it's very cool. Anyway, so I got my gift yesterday, but I didn't realize it was my gift because it said it was from Sweden, which is our neighbors. Hello! So I was like, what? Who in Sweden has my address? And I was like, what? Yarn? And I got home and I opened it and I realized, oh my goodness, I should have filmed this. So I'm sorry that I didn't film this, but here it is. I'm going to show it off on camera anyway. It's very pretty. Let's see here. First of all, when it arrived, I just threw it into a bag. This is a handmade bag. It is massive. Let's see here. Is it all in the camera, I wonder? First of all, she hand knitted me something, and I gotta say, oh wow, I love when people do that. So first of all, if you receive something handmade, if you don't like it, re-gift it, because it's still handmade and it's still very special. This is a very colorful one, which I will make into my autumn tight jacket shawlette, because it's shawlette. It's, I have no idea, winter ombre special edition. I have no idea what kind of yarn this is or where you can get it. It's Shashanamir. No, that cannot be it. Shashanamir. I'm just going to stop, try and read it, and I'm going to show you. That's what it says. Yeah. Okay, so it's color number 00081. Like us on Facebook. Made in Turkey. Ah, so that's why I can't pronounce it. I can pronounce a few words in Turkish, but that was not one of them. So it's this shawlette. It smells very perfumey. So before I start to use it, I'll need to wash that because I'm sensitive to smells, but look how pretty that is. Very fall. These remind me of leaves. And because it is so small or so thin, it will go exactly inside one of those tight jackets I have, because they go right up here. Okay. So that was that. Hand-knit shawl. Handwritten letter, which is always cool. A teeny tiny 2-sized crochet hook keychain. It has the sizes 2mm and 3.5mm on there. And this is Knit Picks Emergency Fix Keychain. I love that. Reminds me of the rainbow I have back here. I can show you that afterwards. I just need to take one out so I can remember to show you. Where can I hang it? Okay, there's more in here. I feel like Christmas when I'm digging in through this to this bag. There's a Swedish flag keychain made out of stone. Very cool. Pair of scissors. Always comes in handy. And then I put my crochet hooks in here yesterday before I was preparing to film this, because this is so cute. It comes like this. When you open it up, it has pockets for your crochet hooks or knitting needles. I chose to put crochet hooks in there because it was gifted to me from a crochet pal. So these are some of my hooks. I have some more up there and up there. Yep, not important. I got a collection. So, very soft fabric, probably cotton. So those were that was the hook case. Now comes the yarn. First of all, I think these will make amazing kids' hats or something, because this is reflective yarn. That is becoming very popular here in Scandinavia. I don't know if it's very popular other places in the world. I know Red Heart has some yarn with reflective threads in it. This is yarn Tindra. Made in China. No, really? Bought in Rusta. Really? I think we have that store. Good to know. It recommends a hand wash, reflects the light in the darkness. 84% acrylic and 16% polyester. Recommends needles number 6. I mean, it has a gauge on 48 stitches. 1 pink and 1 black. And you don't need to knit a whole hat out of this for it to be for it to show up very much. You can just knit a hat with a stripe or several stripes, or mittens with stripes and scarves with stripes. It's very cool. You should always make sure that you are showing when you walk out in the dark. And then there's two skeins of every yarn that you sent. So there was 2 of that, and then there's 2 of this. And this is Aventica Supreme. Another one of that Chechnamair yarn. This is very soft. I think I need to make a hat out of this. So it's a 50-gram skein and holds 130, 120 meters. In other words, it's a 1.75 ounce skein and holds 131 yards. Machine washable. Ah, that's a weird combination. Okay, 45% polyacrylic, 25% superwash wool, 20% alpaca, and 10% polyamide. Very thick. Let's see if this looks like a crocheted cord or something like that. Cold machine wash, don't iron it. Recommend 6 to 7 millimeter, 10 to 11 US hooks and needles. I don't know if the texture comes up at all, but it looks like a very long crocheted cord. That is cool. That means that the yarn is already textured. That can be very cool when you start knitting with it. Okay, and then there was 2 skeins of this. This is me in yarn. My goodness, this is so pretty. I hope the glitter sparkle comes up in the camera. Yeah, I think it does. So this is Fashion Metallis. It's an iron weight. Just going to, if I can remove the wrapping, it'll be easier for me to tell you what it is. Okay, where to start? Color number 2, 002. Fashion Metallis, probably totally butchering that one too. 58% polyester, 42% wool. This is 50 grams and it holds 145 meters. Recommends 5.5 to 6 millimeter needles and hook. And it has a gauge on 18 stitches times 24 rows to 10 times 10 centimeters or 4 by 4 inches. Oh, that's cool. Huh. It says here how many grams you need approximately for a sweater or a pullover. I don't know if that shows up. Right there. So it says size 40 and size 14. So I'm guessing that's the European and the American. Varupackung aufbewahren. Never mind. It's English under. Yeah, keep the packaging. I love this yarn. This was definitely my favorite. So I got approximately 290 meters off this. I need to find something to make out of this because I want to wear this for Christmas. Christmas is my favorite holiday and I am all about the white Christmas. Everything I decor with is white and silver and glittery, and there's just this few tiny little red Santas here and there. This is so perfect Christmas yarn for me. I can't begin to say it. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So thank you so much for my gift. I love it. I really appreciate it, and I can make a lot of things for it, for myself and for other people, and that is always cool. I was telling you about I have no idea what I was thinking, but the rainbow behind me here contains these. Let's see if I can show you. That is one tiny little skein of yarn and toothpicks with wooden beads on them. And it's a haha gift. If I ever meet anybody who's as much into knitting as myself, I should have included this for you, Shauna. I'm sorry. Let me know if you want one. I'll definitely send one to you. So this is an emergency keychain. In case of emergency, knit. Because you all know, in a stressful moment, knitting is very relaxing. So yeah, those are the rainbows behind me right there. It's an emergency knit kit. Yeah. So I sanded down because toothpicks aren't the smoothest. So I sanded down the toothpicks. I glued wooden beads on top. And what else? Yeah, the yarn isn't yarn really. It's yarn, but it's embroidery yarn. So it's a DMC kind of thing. How adorable is that? You gotta love that. Come on. I saw a few of these funny pictures online and I figured I can do that. Come on. Because I bought these see-through bulbs. Bulbs? That's the word, right? Because I meant to make ornaments for my Christmas tree, but I ended up doing something completely different, which I'm perfectly happy with today. Trust me. But I needed to do something with these see-through bulbs, so that was what I did. I made a rainbow. So that was those. My tea's getting cold. Guess what's up? Retro flip through. Hi. Here it comes. I haven't even prepared which one I am going to show you. I just have the box here. Let's see if I can. Okay, let's bring out the box. There they are. Patterns after my grandma. These are the ones that I have gone through, so if you want to see those, you need to check out my previous episodes. That is if you're new here. If you follow me, you have already seen them, which is great. Let's start with this one today, or take this one today, because this has a knitted sweater in front. Since this mainly is a knitting podcast, that is what I mainly want to show you, but, you know, flipping through... Oh my goodness, I think it is! Just a sec. I flipped through this one last time, and I said, I hope I got the next magazine, because I really want to take a closer look at that one. Do you remember? Do you remember? Guess what? This is number 1 from 1985. I cannot believe I did not already know this, but I didn't. I'm sorry. Your jeans, remember? Your jeans. Just saying. This is number 2 from 1985. Okay, let's see here, Grandma, what you flipped through. I'm just going to remove these are... Oh, don't you just love the smell of old paper? Oh my goodness. That is the best part about going to a library. It's going to some sections where they got really old books and just opening them and just... Look at this. Pattern sheets. Very cool. There you go. Okay. Alt om håndarbeid. Everything about crafts. Number 2 from 1985. March 1985. And this is the sweater in front. Again with the oversized. Ooh, train. There we go. Right. It's here, it's here. Look. I don't know why I love that set so much, but I do. I really, something about that set just screams to me. So I'm excited about that. So this is the content list. It even has a tape measure in the back. I remember this. I'm just going to stand up so I know that I'm showing you everything. Don't you just love that bust right there? That's cool. Of course, not at all what they want to show off, but this is the next pages, the same stuff, or the same fabrics, just in other clothings. That is very cool. This is so weird. It's so cool. So there's a sweater or a pullover. And here we are preparing for Easter. Massive tablecloth with bunnies on it. Now this just screams 80s, right? Cool. How cute is that? Okay. Ooh! Decorative boxes. With fabric on side. I can work with that. It's very nice. Oh my goodness, that is adorable. That is adorable. I'm sure this person is just about my age now. It's very weird. And yeah, of course, so this is March 1985, so this will be somewhat Easter inspired. So you have some kitchen curtains here. Different how to DIY. Apron. Another train intermission. And there's this. There's some oven mittens, heat pads I think you call it, I don't know. If I'm wrong, please feel free to correct me anytime. In a nice, fashionably manner, of course. Hey, ooh, very nice. I want to knit this for my brother. Look at that sweater. Take away this part, and that is one very cool sweater. You don't need to wear a scarf with that. You got the sweater. And then there's another one right here. Also very cool, but not as cool. That is very nice. Now, I like pastels, but in garments, I really want more creams, and I want this color. Look at that. That actually fits the theme for this magazine. It's very Easter, very yellow. My goodness. So cool to see how the knitting fashion has changed just over the last few years. Oh my goodness, how cute. They even have bonnets. Cute nightgowns. That is very retro. That is not 85 retro. We're going way back in time to get the style of this. I'm thinking Emma, and Pride and Prejudice. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I'm a Jane Austen fan. And then there's a little more 80s inspired nightgowns and stuff. That looks very comfortable. I want one of these in adult size. I love pajamas. Oh my goodness. I should definitely have brought out my pajamas last night because it was freaking cold. Hooray, we're going in a birthday party. Okay. That's what it says right here. Hooray, we're going to a birthday party. Hurra, vi skal i et bursdagsselskap. That was the Norwegian version, in case you were wondering. That is very cute, though. So last time they had some ironing here. This time it's a hand sewing machine. Okay, so I have number 4 and number 8 here, but I won't do them today. But I don't have number 3, so I just did 1 and 2. So next week I'll be flipping through Alton på meg bedre number 4 from 1985. Okay, thank you so much for joining me, taking the time out of your day and spending it here with me. I really appreciate it. If you want to follow me on Instagram and be a part of the Nordic Stitches podcast group over on Ravelry, please feel free to do so. All the links you need are in the description box below this video, so go check it out. The link for the show notes is also right there, and it will take you to the Ravelry group. If you're not already in the Ravelry, you know, become a member in there. It's free. It's loaded with patterns. You'll love it. Yeah, thank you so much for joining me, and whoever you are, wherever you are, be kind, be good, and have a nice day.